Quavo, Takeoff, they was down here with y'all. But they seen you walking by. He's laying on the ground. You got Mike bending down, and they seen you walking by. What took place there?
This the crazy thing about that video, right? Is
Mike and Junior was walking by. He actually went in the restroom to wash blood off his hand where he had reached up on the Takeoff. He had to pick him up, and his fingers went in it. You know why? Blood well.
Hey, man. Yeah, man. We got a little bit straightening going on. You been
problem, Jay Prince, and I'm gonna tell you like this: if you're 60 years old and you trying to be a street nigga, you failed. I'm telling you this.
believe people play with people intelligence the way they play with people intelligence and intellect. You know, the way they do today. You know, people are telling lies for a living. You know what I mean?
This ain't no regular rap beef. This is a full-blown war that's been bubbling under the surface for way too long, and now it's exploding. Mase just lit the fuse. He leaked a private phone call between Jay Prince and Takeoff, and no one saw this coming. Now Jay Prince is going off. Threats, damage control, trying to clean up the mess, but it's already too late. And Mase? He didn't flinch. He came back swinging and aired Prince out hard. He said the type of stuff folks been whispering about behind closed doors, but never had the guts to say out loud. And this whole thing is going down while people still got big questions about what really happened to Takeoff that night in Houston. It's been shady from the jump. Missing footage, people staying silent, and the same two names keep circling the block: Jay Prince Jr. and DJ Pat. Now this leaked call, it's flipping the whole situation on its head. And here's the wild part. If Mase is telling the truth, then Jay Prince isn't just out here fumbling PR. He might be covering up something way darker. And don't worry, we're not just talking. I've got receipts coming. Witness tweets, rare video clips, podcast audio, even stuff connected to court moves and shady bail deals.
Nothing should have happened. What do you say to that?
What I would say to that is, you know, I have a track record, man, and the Prince family have a track record of 30 plus years of, you know what I mean, honoring and loving on our guests and being with our guests, and no shit like this never happened. But here's the thing, and this is what people don't understand. We ain't never had nobody to attack us, if you know what I mean. You know, when a man attack a situation with a weapon, then, you know, it become a playing field where, you know, any and everything.
People online are dragging Jay Prince, calling him a fake community protector, comparing him to a cartel fixer, even accusing him of having blood on his hands. This isn't your everyday YouTube gossip. This one ties all the way back to Takeoff's final moments, that mob ties connection, and the real reason Prince looks like he's losing control now that the wrong person is speaking out. So here's how it went down. Mase had been staying chill, not saying much, playing it low-key, until Jay Prince started getting slick on the $1 million worth of game podcast, throwing subliminal shots. That's when Mase said enough's enough. Gloves came off. Now, Mase and Cameron had kept quiet about what really went down in Houston for months, but apparently Prince crossed a serious line because what Mase dropped next was straight up wild. He claimed he heard a call where Prince was allegedly pressing Takeoff just hours before his death. And it wasn't no big brother heart-to-heart. According to Mase, Prince was coming at Takeoff sideways, talking loyalty, talking pressure, and not in a calm way. Mase made it sound like Prince was trying to control the whole behind-the-scenes narrative, and once Takeoff stopped playing along, everything went left fast.
I'm gonna tell you another thing. When you're dealing with older people, they're the last to know that things have changed. We not your little, like the way you talking, I don't get what you mean. We're not your little. It's like for
Mike and Junior was walking by. He actually went in the restroom to wash blood off his hand where he had reached up on the Takeoff. He had to pick him up, and his fingers went in it. You know why? Blood well.
Now the timing, that's what's sending chills down everybody's spine. That call allegedly happened the same night Takeoff was killed, right outside that Houston bowling alley. A dice game, some words exchanged, Shots fired, Takeoff gone, just 28 years old. After Mase aired it all out, Prince snapped. He jumped on social media, tossing out sneaky threats like he was trying to flex, and he even doubled down on that shady stuff he said about Offset. Remember? That whole you wasn't really there with Takeoff when he was alive line?
You wasn't really right there with Takeoff when he was alive. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he repeated that again, loud and clear. That sparked a whole other storm. Offset fired back and Cardi B stepped in to ride for her man. It turned into pure chaos. But now that Mase is pulling the curtain back on that secret call, J. Prince is scrambling, trying to do damage control. But truth is, it might already be way too late. The street's been buzzing and they've had enough of the silence. One fan on X said it loud and clear: nobody respects J. Prince after Takeoff died on his watch. And honestly, a lot of people feel the same way. See, folks really started side-eyeing J. Prince and that whole Mob Ties empire right after Takeoff was killed. It didn't take long for Patrick Xavier Clark, aka DJ Pat, to get arrested. But here's where things get shady. Real shady. DJ Pat posted a $1 million bond and walked right out of jail like it was nothing. Quick and smooth, like somebody with real juice didn't want him locked up too long. And don't forget, the internet's been buzzing with claims that J. Prince walked past Takeoff's body and said, "Call that. Don't ask me none about that." Like, what kind of reaction is that? Cold. It gets even weirder. J. Prince Jr. allegedly had his name removed from DJ Pat's bond paperwork. Why? If y'all were all there that night, why would you go out of your way to erase the connection? Unless you're trying to duck the spotlight now that pressure's rising. And DJ Pat ain't the only name. Y'all remember Joshua Cameron, aka Lil Cam 5th? He got picked up on weapon charges right after Takeoff was killed. And guess what? He's tied to Mob Ties too. One by one, dudes connected to J. Prince Jr. keep getting caught up around body bags. Yet Mob Ties keeps acting like they're the ones under attack. Nah, people ain't buying that anymore. Let's not forget what happened before Takeoff either. Remember Duke the Jeweler flew into Houston, checked in with Mob Ties, played dice, and ended up dead. Same setup, same silence. And once again, J. Prince's name was floating in the background. And that footage, J. Prince telling his shotgun man to fall back. That move felt too smooth, like it was rehearsed or something. Real coordinated and real suspicious. It's starting to look like a whole blueprint. Fly rich artists into Houston, make them check in with Mob Ties, roll the dice, tensions rise, security looks lost, and boom, somebody ends up dead. Then J. Prince drops one of those deep-sounding messages about black-on-black violence and grief is the price of love. Come on, man, miss us with the PR speeches. Where was all that energy when the blood hit the pavement? And here's what's really wild. None of the Princes showed up at Takeoff's funeral. None! How's that not shady? People out here saying maybe they stayed away because they knew something. Because if the rumors are true and they do have blood on their hands, why would they pull up where folks might look them in the eye? Meanwhile, J. Prince Jr. be posting cryptic stuff like, "Don't wear jewelry around vultures." But if you knew your guest wasn't safe, why even bring them into that mess? Why didn't you pull Quavo and Takeoff to the side and say, "Yo, it's not a good look tonight"? If your so-called check-in system ain't keeping folks alive, then what's the real purpose?
Maybe we need to change the word for the youngsters. The checking in part, you know, is they seem to get hung up on that word, checking in.
Yeah.
So if we could diversify that word and bring it up to a 2021 thing.
Right. What's the word, OG? What's the word?
Maybe we may want to tell them they need to get stuck on stupid, right?
Yeah.
You're stuck on stupid and you're not using your powers or access to powers that you have. You're looking at it as a negative versus a positive. You know, we all know if you can tap into good people wherever you go.
Wherever. Yeah.
But I mean, it's a blessing, Rick.
Word is, Quavo was in a heated back and forth with J. Prince Jr. right before those fatal shots rang out. And now new clips show Prince brushing it all off like his name ain't tied to it, like Takeoff didn't die on his cruise watch. And when Jay Prince took more jabs on $1 million worth of game, Mase went off. He didn't just defend himself, he took aim at Prince's entire rep. We are not your little...
Dealing with older people, they're the last to know that things have changed. We not your little niggas. Like, the way you talking, I don't get what you mean. We're not your little niggas. Like, for real, all that big homie stuff, that's for little niggas. Little niggas have big homies. We're not little niggas, so we don't even respect big homies. I know Killer doesn't, and for me, I never respected niggas in the streets. That's why I always got the problems.
That hit deep. That wasn't no tweet. That was real talk, straight from the chest. He was speaking for everybody who's been forced to play along with this check-in culture Prince been pushing for decades. And what made it even colder? Cameron didn't say a word. He didn't stop Mase, didn't disagree, just let him go in, and that's rare because Cam usually moves slick and safe. Now fans are convinced Mase been holding that leaked call in his back pocket, just waiting for the right moment. And when Prince slipped, he let it fly. While all this drama was reaching a boiling point, Offset had been keeping quiet until Jay Prince tried to drag his name into the mix, tried to say Offset was never really there for Takeoff, and that's when Offset snapped. He clapped back fast, and right behind him, Cardi B jumped in swinging. And let's be real, Cardi don't bluff. She meant every word. That was the moment fans realized, this ain't just about rap anymore. This ain't music politics. This was Prince getting called out by one of the biggest celebrity power couples in the game. And now, his street cred is getting picked apart in front of everyone. No more untouchable status. Everything's under the microscope. Here's what the public doesn't always notice, but the real ones peeped. Big names been backing away from Prince. First up, Drake. That man used to be all up in Mob Ty's posts and mentions, always showing love. But ever since Takeoff got killed, Drake's been ghost, not a single repost, not even a mention. And this is wild considering Jazz Prince literally helped bring Drake into the game through Wayne and Young Money. Same goes for Jay-Z. Word in the industry is Hov stopped answering any of Prince's so-called peace calls since 2023. And you know Jay, he don't do online drama, he just cuts ties and keeps it pushing. Quiet moves. But when he pulls back, it means something. Why the silence from these billion-dollar bosses? Because they're not trying to get caught up in no federal mess, especially with all those rumors swirling around the Takeoff case. And now that Mase is out here airing out behind-the-scenes convos, exposing private calls, there's no more hiding in the shadows. The silent strategy ain't working anymore. The only reason Mob Ties ever held that kind of power was because of that old-school check-in rule. Pull up in Houston, tap in with Jay Prince Jr., and you're supposed to be good. But now, that system's falling apart. Duke the Jeweler checked in, ended up dead. Takeoff checked in, now he's gone. And now fans are flooding social media with tweets like, "This right here, this is why nobody's checking in no more. The same dudes demanding respect can't even protect the guests they invite out." Even artists from Cali have been calling it out, saying that whole check-in game is just a trap, a flex, a way for local gatekeepers to feel important and act like they're running the city. But after Mase finally said what everybody's been too scared to say out loud, that Jay Prince is just a failed street boss pretending to be some mob king, the internet ain't been able to unsee it since. Now let's talk about what's really sketchy. Where are the witnesses? That night, Takeoff got shot. Over 40 people were outside 810 billiards and bowling. We've seen the videos, we've heard the chaos. So why is it that barely anyone has stepped forward? Word on the streets? Some of them might have been threatened. People online are straight up accusing Mob Ties of paying folks off, erasing surveillance footage, and making sure DJ Pat took the fall by himself. One of the wildest theories out there, Jay Prince Jr. was arguing with Quavo, not Takeoff. And Takeoff wasn't even involved. He just got caught up, and it has people asking, was it a stray bullet or a warning gone very wrong? Now here's where it gets real wild. Sources close to Mase and Cam's inner circle say there's a chance that phone call between Prince and Takeoff, it might have been recorded. Whether it happened by accident or on purpose, that audio could exist. And word is Cam and Mase been holding on to it, waiting, just in case Prince decided to pull some slick moves. If that tape ever leaks, it could blow everything wide open. What did Prince really say to Takeoff? Did he threaten him? Try to force him into something he wasn't down with? Remember, this ain't just anybody spilling tea. This is Mase, the same dude who walked away from Diddy, battled the whole industry, and came back swinging. If that call gets out, It's a wrap for Prince's image. Game over. This right here, this might be the real mob ties indictment, and not just in the streets. The Fed's been watching. This ain't just rap fans gossiping anymore. Every time Jay Prince or his son hops on camera talking slick, somebody in a suit is tuned in. And now that Mase is speaking up, best believe they're really listening. RICO laws don't care how many hits you got or if folks call you a rap legend. They care about witness tampering, alleged threats, and patterns of organized activity. And when you got names like Offset, Cameron, and Mase, plus a whole internet fan base pointing fingers and saying you might have blood on your hands, labels can't cover that, Houston can't cover that, and those so-called check-ins, they mean nothing if your name ends up on that paperwork. But with all this noise, we gotta remember why it even started. Takeoff, the quiet one, the peaceful one, the heart of Migos. He wasn't chasing drama, wasn't clout hungry, just family, music, and vibes. And the fact that his life got cut short over some dice and ego, surrounded by people who claimed they had love for him, that's the real heartbreak. Jay Prince posted his condolences on Instagram, talking about grief is the price of love. But the streets don't want to hear poetic quotes when someone got killed under your watch and you walked away like it was just another night. The people want real answers, not tweets, not carefully worded PR, not cryptic podcast monologues. They want truth. What Mase did wasn't just a clapback, it was a warning shot. He cracked the image. He showed that the fear surrounding Prince is starting to fade. Real ones ain't scared to talk anymore. And if Prince keeps trying to control the narrative, he might end up losing everything, from possible leaked calls to the feds paying attention to artists cutting ties and witnesses vanishing. This story, far from over. And now, things are heating up even more because insiders are whispering that this might be bigger than we all thought. Word is, multiple labels and media companies are quietly scrubbing ties to mob ties behind the scenes. PR teams making calls, interviews being pulled, and people who once bragged about being connected are now pretending they barely knew the Princes at all. One music exec even told a podcast host off record, "Nobody wants to be the next name tied to this storm, especially if the feds keep digging." And it ain't just music now. Folks in fashion, sports, even film are stepping back. It's like a slow motion cancellation, but this time, it ain't the internet. It's corporate survival. At the same time, there's talk that Prince's inner circle ain't as loyal as they used to be. Some of those same voices who used to defend him publicly, now they're quiet, too quiet. Word is, some of them are getting lawyered up, just in case they get pulled in as persons of interest in the bigger investigation. And get this, there's a rumor floating that someone close to the Houston crew has already talked. Not to the blogs, not to the streets, but to the authorities. If that turns out to be true, it could flip the whole table, because once one domino falls, the rest crumble fast. This ain't about clout anymore. It's not about who's got the flashiest cars or the biggest crew. It's about accountability. Takeoff's death shook the culture, and now the foundation mob ties built their empire on is cracking under real pressure. And the wildest part, we're probably only seeing the surface. With leaked audio possibly still in the vault, quiet moves being made by major players, and a public that's finally asking the right questions, mob ties might be facing something they've never dealt with before. A spotlight they can't control. Now here's where the story takes a sharp turn, because behind all the headlines, whispers, and leaked clips, people are starting to question the whole foundation of Jay Prince's so-called legacy. Folks are revisiting old interviews, old videos, old drama, and suddenly the OG image ain't holding up like it used to.
Got a call, you know what I mean? Because the little homie young boy place got broke into, people went in his place, disrespected different things, and I got a call about it. And the little homies that went into this place want to make that right, because they understand that, you know what I mean, young boy family is okay with me. And as you can see, homie, to make a long story short, I got your keys to your Rolls Royce, I got your keys to your McLaren, you know, all that shit that they took. And the homie, Shakur, what you got, homie?
You got your Rolls Royce umbrellas, you got your keys, you got a bunch of other shit, so.
People are asking, was this man ever really about protecting the culture, or was it just a long-running illusion to cover moves that benefited his circle while everyone else was left in the dust? Or worse, the streets are rereading everything. That old respect narrative, it's cracking. Because if Prince was really a protector, then how did two artists, Duke the Jeweler and Takeoff, check in under his watch and end up dead? Even folks who used to stay neutral are starting to speak out. Some Houston voices are saying the city's tired of being tied to this mess. They're fed up with outsiders thinking H-Town is some lawless zone where checking in with a name guarantees safety, when clearly it doesn't. And now people are questioning how many more names got swept under the rug, how many stories never made it online. And with Mase throwing this whole scandal into the spotlight, it's not just Prince on trial, it's the whole idea of unchecked street power in the music game. That fear pass people gave him for years, it's expiring fast. Meanwhile, social media's in full investigation mode. Fans are posting timelines, connecting dots, comparing witness statements, even breaking down body language from old Prince interviews. They're doing what the authorities haven't done yet. And what's scarier for Prince than law enforcement? A public that doesn't believe in his myth anymore. Because once that image shatters, it don't matter how many connections you got. No more silence, no more fear, and definitely no more hiding behind the idea of being respected. If there's one thing clear now, it's that the streets, the fans, and the industry are done playing along. Prince snapped, Mase clapped back. And now, the whole world is watching every move, every post, every silence. What started as whispers behind the scenes is now front page drama. And trust, it's only getting messier from here. This ain't just rap beef no more. This is legacy, loyalty, and loss all crashing into each other in real time. J. Prince tried to control the story, but Mase blew the doors open, and once the internet gets hold of something like this, ain't no putting the lid back on. People aren't scared like they used to be. That silence that used to keep folks in check, gone. Now everybody's talking. Fans, artists, even insiders, and the spotlight on mob ties has never burned this bright. So if Prince thought he could quiet it all down with a podcast appearance or a cryptic quote, he seriously underestimated this wave, because now the streets are tuned in, the internet's digging, and the pressure's building by the second. And yo, if you made it to the end of this breakdown, salute. You already know we don't sugarcoat nothing over here. Drop a fire emoji in the comments if you're riding with the truth. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and don't forget to turn on notifications so you don't miss the next explosive update. We got receipts, we got breakdowns, and we got more celebrity drama coming that's gonna leave jaws on the floor. And don't click off just yet. Tap that next video you see on the screen for more wild stories from the world of fame, feuds, and facts they don't want you to hear. I'll catch you in the next one. Stay locked, stay loud, and stay woke.